Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the board. My name is Gene Collins, and I'd appear before you before. Our concern is, it's not that I don't think there's anybody in here who's against labor or anything is against working people. I know I see a lot of 872 members back there. I imagine some of them at one point in time has worked for me. I have 2 tickets in my pocket. I'm an operator's engineer and then an electrician ticket in my pocket. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that the historical Black West Side community is included into this agreement. And as you all know, in the past, we have not been included, even though we say that we are for everyone, that the historical Black West Side community has not been included. Now, Bill Stanley just left. I worked with him on this agreement that he's putting together. And for Mr. White, I don't have anything totally against Tommy except what Tommy really is. And that's why I see, and when I go back to work, when this project starts, when my health gets good, I'm going to be hiring some laborers from 872. But that doesn't forbid me from saying that I'm suing Tommy White for racial discrimination. Didn't forbid me from saying that. There's not a laborer who has worked for me has said that I mistreated any one of them or I owe any one of them some money. There's Mr. White cannot say that I owe 872 a dime. So this is not, I'm not here because I'm against organized labor. Like I said, when I got ready to go in business, I opened up a union shop and I still have one. And so this is not about what Gene Collins is doing. This is about a community. I had a meeting with Mr. Evans the other day. My concern with Mr. Evans is the same one that I have now. How do we fit into this agreement? How do the historical Black West Side community fit into this? And we are putting together a plan so that when we get you guys' plan, we're going to compare what we have and we're going to see how we fit into your plan. And we hope that if your plan does not include us, then we want you to take a look at our plan so that we can put these plans together so that the historical Black West Side community will have an opportunity to benefit from the stadium and everything else. And for that, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Harris. I'm the owner of The Black Book. I came here first, and I came a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about diversity, and I'm glad to hear a lot of people talking about diversity today. As a matter of fact, I look back at the union, and I'm seeing more diversity than I've seen in a long time, and I hope it continues. But when I talk about diversity, too, you know, it is very important that when we use that word, it includes African Americans. And that's all I'm going to point out is the fact that as we have these opportunities to grow from all levels, not just the rank and file, not just business, we need to make sure that there's an inclusion of African Americans and again, pass the diversity world into what is happening here. And partnerships are what we need. We don't need to be pointing fingers. We don't need to be adversarial. We need to create some new roads and new avenues that really means inclusion. Because, as I said, America's only good as its weakest link. And if we all work together to strengthen the weakest link, then we'll have a stronger America. So all I do is I commend you all and I ask you all to please make sure that in your diversity plans are significant inclusions of the African American community. Thank you.
Stanley Washington, Las Vegas. I'm going to echo what the gentleman just said. This is a good thing when the top subject of the meeting is diversity. I like that because majority, as you guys know, that's not the case. There's nobody commenting on public comment about none of this stuff. So the very fact that this community benefits agreement is taking precedent over the development agreement, the transfer agreement, and all the other agreements coming down, that's the way it's supposed to be. Because this is the area where Nevada's been short. And this is a project here, I keep reminding folks, the National Football League is one of the most along with the NBA, the most diverse industries on planet in America. So, the question has to be answered. Is the state of Nevada and its people ready for such a diverse organization and the way they operate and what they expect? This isn't just another casino. This isn't hockey. This is the National Football League. 75, 80% African-American involvement. The big monies that the owners make come out of folks who come out of neighborhoods like 89106. If you don't believe me, do the research. So the question has to be answered here now. I know we're interested in the money part, but are we really interested in now being ready to move as a culture to accommodate this type of diverse organization coming into play? So the comments that I heard thus far in terms of the attitude toward labor and diversity is great. I want to continue this on. That means that guess what? I'm the numbers man. I'm not into construction. My degree's in accounting. I just count numbers. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to count numbers, Mr. Guetta. The numbers don't lie. So that means at the end of the day, I expect this project to be the most significant involved project relative to African Americans in the history, because that's what I'm hearing today. I'm all for that. That's what I'm hearing Mr. White is for. That's what I'm hearing everybody's for. So at the end of the day, the numbers should bear that out, and we should all be much better for that. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Jackie Satwhite. I debated on whether I was going to come or not, because in 1998, I had a cleaning company. I'm sure Mr. White is familiar with it. He was instrumental in pretty much getting us off the ship. We were the first cleaning company, unionized cleaning company, because when we started, it was a non-union shop. At that time, we had, this is what our workforce looked like. We had 33 blacks and 3 Hispanics, and that's all that showed up. I don't think there's 33 of you guys sitting out there now. This was in 1998. He made sure that we did not continue on. We were working on Mandalay Bay. That's what this picture is about. We got a letter December 31st, basically saying at the end of the day, your services are no longer needed. We went back and forth with the union on that. And I talked to them and tried to find out why was I not being recognized. And I received in this letter, December 14th, I do not intend to provide any further details because I believe that it's sufficient under the law. This union has disclaimed interest in representing your employees and has terminated the agreement. This is final. Beware of Tommy White and Local 872. We continued on. Judge Pro ordered that we arbitrate. That was February 25th. 2 years later, we had set up a date to arbitrate, and the union had agreed on dates. This letter is dated November 28, 2001. We were going to set up a date to arbitrate, and then there was another letter where that the union wrote and said, no, there's no need to set a date to arbitrate because this company is bankrupt. You know the game. We don't have any money. You continue doing legal papers, and legal papers, and so hence we never did arbitrate. Now I have to forgive Tommy White because that's my religion, but I won't forget. During that time, my husband of 25 years died. We got the letter to get off the job December 31st. March 13th, he died. It was basically, I think, a lot to do when you build a company up from scratch and then you see it pulled out from under you. You know, it does a lot to you. We just saw the man today died, the Fox man. Probably a lot of the stress had a lot to do with that. Now, beware, we all wear a mask, but we need to be aware of who Tommy White is and what he's about. We may go in this one way, but I want to make sure that at the end of the day, that these people are still working and that the minority community is represented. I have no interest. I have a company that is non-union. After that experience, I will not do anything that is union related. Thank you for your time. Just be aware of who you're working with. And if you want any copies of this, I have it. But remember, this is what the company looked like. 33. I don't think there's 33 blacks sitting out there. I tried to count, but there may be. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
How you doing? Tony Jellison, president of the local chapter of the National Association of Minority Contractors. I'm going to make this brief. I just want to say I'm very happy with, we've reached out to President Bedane about the diversity and also the board here. And I'm just here to say I appreciate, thank you for, working with our association and to help to see if we can make sure we'll get diversity on this project.
Thank you, Mr. Jellison.
I made this video because not enough has been said about concerns about blacks in Las Vegas not getting work with respect to the Oakland Raiders Las Vegas planned NFL stadium. There's been a lot about specific incidents, like, for example, the flyer that promised jobs that was written by Mr. Wilson, the accountant gentleman that spoke in this video. But in terms of the overall problem and the concerns of the residents, that still has not been adequately communicated by the media. So this is one of a number of videos that will communicate that.